Welcome to the NBA 2K G League show. I'm your host, Varun Charya, and welcome to the show. So, happy 2K Early Access Day, everybody. I'm so hyped. This is like what I look forward to. I'm going to go through all the players from the G League who hopefully got scanned, and we'll see who got scanned, who did not get scanned. This is probably the first thing I do anytime there's a new 2K because I just love the G League so much. But yeah, let's just get straight to it. I'll probably talk about some guys, right now, like maybe if there's a player who I know is going to be playing the G League based on what I've been seeing in terms of like the transactions and like kind of reports. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping guys will get scanned. I'm hoping, like for example, Yuki Kawamura, maybe he got scanned. Maybe Dink Pate will get his face scan added if he makes the New York Knicks roster. So it's really hard to know 2K. I always feel like guys who have been in the NBA for longer, like for example Micah Potter and like Jay Huff last year, they got scanned, and they've been between the NBA and the G League for years. So that's my thinking, is we're probably going to see more of that here, but who knows? Let's see right here what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do a current roster. I'm gonna do official 2K roster, and then I'm gonna go here to free agents. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom. I literally have my eyes closed. I can't even see. I'm gonna try to go through each player one by one, who from the G League side, and see who has a scan, who does not have a scan. So yeah, all right. Well, hopefully at the bottom. I think I'm at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. So you're starting here with Jackie Cooey, I believe. He played for the for the Brooklyn Nets. There has been actual interest of him returning to the NBA, so we'll see if he actually gets a deal. All right, let's see who's next. Boo Booey. Nope. But we know that Boo Booey did get his G League rights traded to the Mexico City Capitanes for Dink Pates, so maybe he does play for the Capitanes. We will see. Alondas Williams, let's just check out his I know for a fact he has a scan, so yeah, okay. Looks tough. All right. See if Jazz Gortman. Okay. I think. Is that Jazz Gortman? Okay, no, this is. Okay, so this is just like it's just another creative player. Okay, well. All right, but I think Jazz Gortman, he played Summer League. I think it was with was it the Jazz? No. Was it the Magic? Oh, I think the 76ers. No, the Thunder. He plays Summer League the Thunder. So who knows? Maybe if his rights get traded to the OKC Blue. Armel Troy, unfortunately no scan, but Armel, last year wasn't even eligible to come back to South Bay Lakers because they can only have brought back one of their two-way contract players as an in-season affiliate, and they chose Quincy Oliveri, who I has got his scan. But let's see. I don't know if Armel went back to Europe. He's from France. He's the older brother of Nolan Traore. But let's see. All right, Liam Robbins. Nope, no scan for him. But he played for Wizards Summer League. Jalen Clutcher. Oh man, Jalen Crutcher. It would have been nice if we got his scan, because he's been between the NBA and the G League for quite some time. Braxton Key. I know he has a scan for sure, but we can just kind of check it out really quick. All right, Terran Armstrong, who's technically still a free agent. Well, he has a two-way qualifying offer from the Golden State Warriors, so let's see if he gets it. Alex Duquesne, no, unfortunately not. Alex Duquesne, he played for the OKC Thunder on a two-way last year, but he actually wound up going back to the NBL. So some of these guys so far in the bottom list of these free agents are kind of in and out between like overseas or maybe the G League. Let's see if Adam Flagler got it. Nope, nothing for Adam Flagler here. Okay, let's see. But Flagler did sign, I believe, an Exhibit 10 with the San Antonio Spurs, so he will probably be joining Austin this year. Zion Pullen, unfortunately not, but he did get I believe he got his rights traded to the Iowa Wolves, so he will probably be joining the Iowa Wolves is my understanding. Jameer Young, unfortunately, nothing here, but he was traded to his rights traded to the, or not yet actually. He's agreed to an Exhibit 10 with the Miami Heat, so you'll probably play with the Sioux Falls Skyforce. Miles Norris, unfortunately, nothing here. I believe he signed. I think he signed overseas, unless I'm confusing with somebody else. But yeah, I think he did sign overseas recently. So Jesse Edwards, unfortunately, nothing here. But he did also he did sign, I think, in the NBL. He played for the Timberwolves last year on a two-way, and then decided to move on from him. All right, Isaiah Mobley. Thankfully, they got him in. I was a little concerned because I don't think they ever updated him it updated the 76ers at the end of last 2K at the very end of the season, because I think he was added to the roster so late at the very last 1 or 2 games, but so I wasn't sure if he was going to be in there, but thank God. Okay, so at least we got him. Although he did, I think, sign overseas, I believe. So, but if he ever comes back, we at least have him in the game for rosters. Okay, Malve Leons, he played for the OKC Thunder. He's been with the Blue organization. Fortunately, nothing here. DJ Karn, okay, we know for a fact he got his scan, I think last year, and his rights just got traded to the Birmingham Squadron, so I'm imagining he's going to join the Pelicans G League team. Javante McCoy, that doesn't look like a face scan, but he played for He's played for several different G League teams like South Bay Lakers, Austin Spurs, the Motor City Cruise, which is a very recent team. He actually, unfortunately, got hurt last season with the Cruise, but hopefully he comes back strong if he does return to basketball soon. All right, DJ Stewart, unfortunately, nothing here. So yeah, nothing here with DJ Stewart. If you don't know DJ Stewart, he played for the Maine Celtics. Was part of that team that went to the finals about over a season ago. He also played at Duke, actually, and recently played for the Memphis Hustle, and he played with the Lakers for Summer League. Quincy, no Quincy skin? Oh, really? See, this I'm surprised, because I thought at least Quincy Oliveri would have got a scan, given the amount of, he had a huge fan base, so that's a little surprising, but Taze Moore, I believe, got cut last year from the Trailblazers. It might have been January this past year. He's a very athletic player, and I think his rights are still at the Rip City Remix. So I don't know if he's overseas now, but I guess we'll kind of see what happens next with his career. Adama Sanogo, let's go. Okay, that's one face scan. I do believe Adama Sanogo was actually, I think they did have his face scan last year because there wasn't an appearance tab for his creative player. His appearance tab was locked. So meaning we couldn't edit his appearance, so that probably meant 2K had a scan for him. But let me see if I can kind of zoom in. I feel like usually if I remember, yes, okay. Cool. Yeah, okay. Oh, it won't let me turn it. I was trying to see if I can rotate. But yeah, okay. I'm happy about that. All right, Eric Stevenson, nothing here. Also, sorry, Adama Sanogo played with the Jazz Summer League. If he wants to join a G League, a team has to give him an affiliate player spot, and that'd probably be an Exhibit 10, or he would go through a G League draft if he was playing the G League this year. Eric Stevenson, he played the Go-Go recently, and he played a Heat Summer League. He actually has gone overseas. Marcus Garrett, let's see if they brought his scan back. Or did he actually ever have a scan? I thought he did. I feel like he did in a previous 2K, or maybe not. I don't know. All right, Philip Wheeler. Nothing here for Philip Wheeler. Yeah. But Philip Wheeler actually played with the Maine Celtics recently. His rights were traded, I believe, in March of this past year. And he was kind of helping that team as they were trying to make it back to the finals. I have a feeling he'll be back with Maine. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling. But Jalen Sims, nothing here, unfortunately. He's been with the Greensboro Swarm for probably the past 3 seasons. He was part of that Hornets Summer League team that just won the championship. So, yeah, Okay, let's keep going. Jalen Bridges. This isn't a new scan. He actually added Jalen Bridges' face scan in last year for 2K. So this isn't a huge surprise. He is playing, I believe, he's going to play the main Celtics this year. So Anton Watson. Actually, nothing here so far about his free agency. He's still a free agent. We haven't seen yet where he's going. If a team signs him, it has to be as an affiliate player spot. And remember, there's only 120 affiliate player spots in the NBA. So if he doesn't and he wants to play in the G League, he would have to go through the draft. Amani Bates. Surprisingly, nobody has signed Amani Bates. I've talked with like a couple of friends about this. A little surprised. Hopefully gets on a roster hopefully soon, especially once all the more top tier free agents sign their contracts. Hopefully more of the G League moves will start getting finalized. Seth Lundy got cut by the Clippers, but he was brought in I believe late with San Diego, but they ended up deciding to move on from him. He had actually had an injury earlier in the year. I don't know if it was a shoulder injury, but hopefully he'll be back in the G League at some point this year, and I believe it would be an Exhibit 10 or as an affiliate player. And some of these guys can sign to G League later. They don't have to do it during training camp, but then it starts to be like a whole it's whoever has the worst whoever has the worst record gets their rights. So that's kind of how it works. Ethan Thompson, nothing here, unfortunately, no scan. But Ethan Thompson, I do believe his rights were traded to the Sioux Falls Skyforce. He's been between different teams over the years. I mean, he's played for the Capitanes, the Magic. He was actually with the Orlando Magic on a two-way last year, which is why he's now in the game. He also played, I think he played for the Windy City Bulls, but he's been around for quite some time, in the G League and the NBA. And he also has a twin brother, I believe, Stevie Thompson. So yeah, it's just another cool fact about him. All right, Ron Harper Jr. I know he has a scan, but just note he is going to be playing for the Maine Celtics this year. Jason Preston, he does have his face scan, and I believe he's going to play with San Diego Clippers. All right, Eugene Omarui. I would love if he had a scan in the game, guys. He's not. It's weird. And I don't understand why his appearance tab is still locked. This is what I was saying earlier. This happened last year with Dama Sanogo. So if it looks like this and we can't edit the player, I'm pretty sure they have to have a face scan. That's at least how I thought. I've heard other YouTubers and 2K roster creators have talked about this. So yeah, but Eugene Omarui played for the Raptors 905 last year. He's from Canada, so pretty cool. At least see that he was able to get a 10-day last year with Toronto. Deshaun Nix. Okay, let's see. No, nothing here, unfortunately. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Deshaun Nix did play with the Rio Grande Valley Vipers last year. I don't know actually where he's at right now. I don't know if he went overseas, but Yuri Collins played for the Santa Cruz Warriors. Played with the Suns Summer League team. Yeah, I don't know, I guess, what his status is now, if he'll return to Santa Cruz, but I guess we'll see. Kendall Brown, his rights were traded actually recently to the Maine Celtics, so he will join Maine. Yes, Scal Labissiere. Oh, thank God. Okay, sweet. Oh, cool. They got him. Did he? I can't remember if he ever had a beard in the previous 2 years, but this is huge. I'm actually excited about this because Scal just got traded to the Capital City Go-Go, so I can be able to play with him in the Go-Go. So I'm pretty excited for this. Marcus Bagley, he's the younger brother of Marvin Bagley. He got called up to the 76ers on a 10-day towards the end of the season when they had all the injuries. He played for the Delaware Bluecoats, the past year. So, but yeah, no scan here, unfortunately. Reese Beekman, I was really hoping had a scan, but I guess not. So that's unfortunate. Reese Beekman, I believe, is on Exhibit 10 with the Nuggets. So he will probably join Grand Rapids. Pat Spencer got a scan. Yo, okay. Did not expect that. Oh, wow, it looks great. I'm happy they got Pat Spencer because you got Pat Spencer, now Cam Spencer. So it's kind of fun there. Let's see if we can kind of look at the scan. Okay. Cool. That is pretty cool. No, and so far we don't know where Pat Spencer is going to play. There's nothing been reported. I think he's still a free agent. David Duke Jr. Okay, so David Duke Jr. got cut by the Spurs. He actually is out of two-way eligibility, so he's not going to be able to get at least a two-way. Now, I think I have to double check. I don't know if his rights. I think his rights still belong to. I think the Westchester Knicks own his returning rights, I believe. So I don't know if that would ever be a possibility, or if he did end up going overseas. Nothing for Jack McVay. He played on a two-way last year with the Houston Rockets. Jack McVay, he actually ended up signing back to Australia. Mason Jones, fingers crossed. He's been missing a scan for years. This would be so awesome. Did we get it? Yo! Okay. Let's go. Finally. After years. We got Mason Jones. Wow, he looks on point too. This is awesome. Okay. I'm happy about that. All right, Mac McClung. Obviously, a lot of people have been, wondering about Mac McClung. Honestly, I have no clue where he's going next. Because the Orlando Magic initially offered him a two-way qualifying offer, but then they pulled out of it. So I don't know what his status is as of right now if he returns the Osceola. They were in the finals last year, but they just couldn't beat the Stockton Kings. So we'll see. Nate Williams. Nate Williams did play for the Houston Rockets recently. I believe his rights still might be with the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, but he was cut during Summer League. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next with Nate Williams. Jalen Martin, nothing here. I was hoping he would have gone a scan, but Jalen Martin, he played at the Capital City Go-Go recently on a two-way. He was, I think his rights are still with the Delaware Bluecoats. So maybe they could, maybe there's a reunion there. Nothing's been reported on that side, so we'll see. Justin Minaya, his returning rights belong to the Rip City Remix still, but actually he has played with the Portland Trailblazers on two-way contracts recently. He was in the game last year too, his face scan and all. So, but we'll see if he goes to the G League. PJ Dozier, yeah. He played with the Timberwolves, I think, for a little bit last year, and then I think they ended up cutting him, I think. But let's see. Bruno Fernando. Okay, I'm going to kind of start getting to players. Now I'm going to kind of start moving forward past guys who didn't really play in the G League. So I know Bruno Fernando is, I believe he played overseas last year anyway. Isaiah Wong played the Celtics during Summer League, and he played the Hornets last year, got called up from the Salt Lake City Stars. Stars do still own his rights. I think he still is overseas. I think he went back overseas, but if he ever wanted to come back, they could definitely get his, Stars definitely own his rights. Jalen Noel. So Jalen Noel has gone overseas. He went over to China to play. I love playing Jalen Noel in 2K, guys. He's a bucket. Johnny Davis, his returning rights belong to the Westchester Knicks. Nothing so far we've seen about what he's doing right now in his career, so he didn't play Summer League to my understanding, but we'll see. Jalil Okafor, obviously, love that he's in the game again. I don't know if he's going to be back in the G League this year. I mean, he kind of returned, tried again. Maybe he will, or maybe he's going to go overseas. Cody Zeller, Moses Brown. Moses Brown is, same scan from last year. Thankfully, they finally added him. I know a lot of people were telling me, man, when are we going to get, Moses Brown? So, Matt Ryan played for the Knicks on a two-way, but he didn't really play a lot. And then they ended up cutting him, during the two-way contract deadline. I think he's also out of two-way eligibility, too. So, if he were, and I don't think he ever played in a G League as a free agent. So if he were to join, it would have to be as an affiliate player. Actually, no, wait, sorry, I said this wrong. So technically, he does have returning rights because he was the number 1 pick last year in the G League draft. So actually, Westchester owns his rights. But he still was on a two-way contract, so he's still out of two-way contract eligibility because he's done 4 years in the NBA. So if he were to come back, a team would have to trade for his returning rights. Malachi Flynn, I mean, let's kind of look at him. He went overseas anyway, but yeah, was cool last year for the Austin Spurs. O'Shea Brissett, I believe. He played for the Long Island Nets. Yeah, I think he's overseas, I believe, as well. Cole Swider, who was a standout for the Lakers this past summer league. He played for South Bay also towards the end of the season. He played for the Pistons and on a two-way contract, but then they cut him, and then Swider eventually rejoined South Bay. Kyler Kelly, fortunately, no face scan here. I was really hoping they would have gotten him a scan. Kyler Kelly is going to be back with South Bay this year. He got called up for the first time in his career last year, so cool to see he's back with South Bay. Kevin Knox made the Warriors roster last year. He played with Santa Cruz previously during the past season, and then he got called up towards the end of the season, especially when they needed to add more players because they made all those trades. So really happy for Kevin Knox, but let's see what's next in his career. Bismack Biyombo, nothing here from a G League standpoint. So Kai Jones, I think there were reports that he had he had worked out the Heat for a week. I don't know what happened to that. He's out of two-way contract eligibility, so if he was applying for an NBA team, it would be on the 15-minute roster. Taj Gibson, Josh Christopher, he actually played the the Hawks for Summer League. He played the Sioux Falls Skyforce last year. Trying to think, and yeah, I mean he was on a two-way, and then he ran out of two-way eligibility, so we'll probably see what happens next with his career. But the Skyforce do still own his returning rights if he were to get traded somewhere else. Stanley Moody, he played for the Bucks, actually Summer League and on a two-way last year. He didn't really play with Milwaukee that much, so I don't really know what's going to happen if he's going to play in the G League again this upcoming year, so we'll see. Jalen Hood-Schifino played to 76ers on a two-way contract, but so far he has not been signed anywhere else. I don't think they extended him for another year on a two-way, so he's a free agent. So if he does sign the G League, it would obviously be, as an Exhibit 10 affiliate player spot. Again, only 120 spots in the G League. In between the NBA and the G League for one of these players to get that Exhibit 10 bonus. If they go through a G League draft, then they're on a G League contract, which doesn't pay as well, so it's not as great. But we'll see what happens with Hood-Schifino. All right, Keon Brooks. So he got a scan. Okay, that's awesome. So let's see. Look here. I wonder if I can. Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah, okay. Well, happy for Keon Brooks that he got a scan. I think, did he play at Duke? Or he played at some, or maybe I think it was Kentucky. Keon Brooks, he played the Pelicans last year, the G League team as a Birmingham Squadron. Then he got called up on a two-way, and they cut Trey Jemison to call him up. So happy to see this. This is really cool. So I don't know if he'll be back. He played, I think, Pelicans Summer League team, but I don't know if he'll be back with their Summer League team. Again, when there's a new front office to the Pelicans, they're going to want to sign different guys, so it's just what it happens. But JT Thor, I'll just show you this, but he's always been in the game. He played the Capital City Go-Go last year on a two-way, and also played with the Cleveland Cavaliers on a two-way. Don't know. He's out of two-way contract eligibility, so don't know if he'll really be back in the fold of the NBA or G League. I don't know if he went overseas. Ty Washington, he has joined. He's going to join San Diego this year as an affiliate player. Visik Milicic, okay. James Johnson, Markieff Morse. Let's see. Probably some of these guys aren't G League. Okay, Marjon Beauchamp. So Marjon Beauchamp, if a team were to sign him, it would be as an affiliate player spot. And let's see what happens with him. He was part of G League Ignite. Played with the Bucks. Nothing really happened with him there. So I'm rooting for him, but we'll see. Wendell Moore was on a two-way the Hornets, but he didn't really play in the G League. So I don't really know what his status is. I'm trying to think. Yeah, he played the I think he played the Magic for Summer League. So maybe he is still trying to make it to the NBA and the G League. So we'll see. Chomo Kiki, I don't know if he went overseas, but I think he played the Cavaliers. He got called up. Actually, he literally got called up during the Westchester Knicks playoff game. It was kind of funny. Literally played in the first half. Shams drops the report that they're calling him up on I think the rest of the season, actually, because it was so late in the season to have like playoff depth, and then he didn't play for the rest of the game. So for the Westchester Knicks. But Tristan Thompson, E.J. Liddell, he played for the Bulls last year on a two-way. He played for the Nuggets on Summer League. We'll see what happens there. If he would have been an affiliate player, so he would have to get his rights, I guess technically like through the Exhibit 10 affiliate player spot, or go through the G League draft, or obviously enter later during the G League season to play in the G League. And he still is eligible for a two-way contract. Daquan Jeffries, I think he played the Hornets this past year. He didn't play in the G League last year, but Maxwell Lewis, I can definitely say I know he went overseas. Alex Reese, unfortunately, no scan here. Alex Reese is a cool story. He was a bartender, I believe. He was a tryout player for the Rip City Remix, and then made the team, and then got called up to the Thunder last year, and the 76ers. So Damian Baugh, I think he was called up last year with the Hornets from the Westchester Knicks. He played part of that Summer League championship team, but unfortunately he did not, they didn't end up keeping him. So his returning rights do belong to the Westchester Knicks. Colin Castleton, okay, I'm hyped about that. Oh, yo, he looks cool. Yo, okay. All right, let's see how the scan looks, the face. Okay, yo, this is awesome. All right, yeah, I'm thrilled about this. This is great. All right, Colin Castleton, if you don't know who he is, he played, I believe, at the University of Florida. He's from the Florida area. He played for the Lakers on a two-way contract his first year. Actually, was his first? Yeah, over one season, I believe. And then he got cut. Then his returning rights got traded to the Long Island Nets, but then they ended up actually getting called up by the Memphis Grizzlies on a two-way, and then got cut. His then returning rights got traded to the Osceola Magic, and that was a good team, and they were on the way to the finals, but then he got called up to Toronto Raptors and the 76ers, I believe, during that stretch. So his returning rights do belong to the Osceola Magic still. Osceola still can sign him, and I believe he has agreed to an Exhibit 10, so I think he will be playing for Osceola this year. But awesome, this is great. Lester Quinones. Let's see. A lot of people have asked me about if he's gone scan. Let's see. No, nothing here. That sucks. Okay, but he did get also traded to the Osceola Magic, so he'll be playing with Colin Castleton. Patrick Baldwin Jr. Will be playing with the San Diego Clippers. Let's see. I'm trying to count how many players. I think we're at 3 new face scans so far. Actually, maybe 4 with Mason Jones. So yeah. All right, Chris Duarte, I actually don't know what happened after he got cut by the Bulls. He hasn't really, I don't know if he went overseas, but he actually was playing with the G League Showcase tournament. He played 2 games last year, and not much really happened after that. So I think he got assigned to the Windy City Bulls, but I think he probably would have had to agree to it, because typically if you're a 4th-year player or above, you have to agree to be sent to the G League. So obviously it was something he probably wanted to do, but we'll see. Josh Richardson, Jalen McDaniels, he signed the Pelicans recently on I believe it was I don't know if it was an Exhibit 10. They haven't said. I have a feeling it's an Exhibit 9. So I'm meaning he won't play for the G League team, for the squadron. Killian Hayes, there was reports about him still wanting to play in the NBA. He had a brief stint with the Brooklyn Nets last year, which is why he's still in the game again. Let's see. Long Island Nets do still own his rights, so maybe he gets traded somewhere else if Brooklyn wants to look at other players. Mo Bamba played for the Birmingham Squadron. They still own his returning rights, but I think he signed overseas. I don't know if it was China, or maybe it was Turkey, but he's overseas, I believe. Terry Taylor, let's see if he got it. He was part of that championship team for the Stockton Kings. Fingers crossed. Nope, nothing here. But it's a similar thing, where if you look here, you can't edit his player appearance. So that's why I'm like, he has to have a skin, right? I don't understand why we can't edit him. So Bones Highland played with the Iowa Wolves last year. There's been reports about maybe him getting the 14 for 15 roster spot with Minnesota. We'll see what happens there. Lamar Stevens got caught up last year with the Grizzlies. He was playing with the Motor City Cruise, who still own his returning rights if he plays with the G League again. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Patty Mills, Talon Horton Tucker, David Roddy, who I believe is with the Raptors. He's going to play. He's going to be an affiliate player spot, I believe, for them. So he's going to count as one of our 4. And I think, he played for the Hawks last year. Or I don't know if he got traded. Yeah, I think he played for the Hawks, then got cut. Then was signed on a 2-way by the 76ers. Then they cut him for Jalen Hood-Schifino. Then he got signed to a 2-way by the Rockets. And then got cut. Or I don't know if it was an affiliate player spot ran out. Or I mean, not affiliate. I don't know if he was eligible for a 2-way anymore. Actually, what year was he drafted? 2022. Okay. So he has one more year of 2-way eligibility. So, yeah, so I guess the Rockets then just ended up letting him go. So he's now going to be playing with the 905. Block to Conquer. Okay, let's see if Trevlin Queen got it. He is a guy, huge player in the G League. He really didn't play actually at all. I don't think he played in the G League last year, but let's see if they gave him a scan. Nope, nothing here, unfortunately not. PJ Tucker, Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet, he played in the G League last year, actually when he was rehabbing just with Westchester for the first half of the season. Then New York called him up. There's been talks about him maybe joining New York again, so we'll see. Micah Potter played with the Salt Lake City Stars, Utah Jazz on a 2-way. He is going to be playing with the Austin Spurs, to my understanding. Jeff Dowden, I really hope got a scan. Let's see. Nope, nothing here. But Jeff Dowden went overseas, so. Markel Fultz. Jared Roden, let's see if he got a scan. Nope, nothing here. Jared Roden played for the Toronto Raptors recently on a 2-way. But he actually, I think his returning rights still belong to the Raptors 905. Trey Jemison played the Lakers this past summer league and towards the second half of the season. He was also at the Pelicans on a 2-way contract. So far, nobody's picked him up. His returning rights do belong to the Birmingham Squadron still. Daniel Tice, Christian Wood, Cam Reddish, Charles Bassey. Actually, I'm curious what they're going to do with Charles Bassey if the Celtics will sign him. In order for him to play with the main Celtics, Boston has to give him an affiliate player spot, which they have already signed 2 guys, I think, so far. So they only have 2 more spots. So if they sign 2 other guys, he is not joining the main Celtics. But there's also, reports that he also had interest overseas. So Alfred Payne, I'll mention this because he did play in the G League last year. And then got caught up to the NBA. His face scan is back in the game. Alfred Payne also, to my understanding, his returning rights just got traded to the I think it was San Diego Clippers recently. So I don't know if he's actually going to join San Diego or if that's just going to be like, if he does, come back to the G League, if they could use that as a way to trade for returning rights. Because San Diego Clippers, at least as of the time of this video, don't have a lot of draft picks. So maybe getting a player like Alfred Payne is good for them to be able to use that as an option to trade for more draft capital. We'll see. Kessler Edwards has not had a scan the previous 2Ks. His appearance tab has been locked, so let's see. Nope, nothing here. I'm positive this is not Kessler Edwards. I'm just gonna check. I always think that is, but I don't think this is it. Yeah, this isn't him. So no, I don't think that's him. Nah. Corey Joseph, Lonnie Walker, Betty Jackson, Damian Lee, overseas, Monte Morris, Crowder, Delano Banton. I thought Delano Bant was with the Trailblazers. Bull, Thomas Bryant, DeLon Wright, here's Matthews. We're probably really starting to move up to guys who probably didn't really play. You know, shout out Brandon Boston, man. I'm happy for him that he got caught up and had a good year. And now he's overseas, but yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys are pretty much free agents now, I think. And then, yeah, at this point, we're just waiting to see, you know, who gets their scan. I mean, who signs next. And yeah, and I'm gonna move on to the next players. Oh, whoops. Move on. Oh, whoa. It changed the controls here a little bit. But okay, wait, we're on the 76ers. So I'm gonna try to see if I can organize this better by just going to immediately to the top. Okay. Oh, cool. So this is interesting. So they have already actually added. Oh wow, they don't really do this so quickly. So typically, 2K will add. I think, to my understanding, they won't add two-way contract guys till after, who are undrafted, till after the regular season. This time they did it earlier. And now I will say Hunter South did sign immediately with the 76ers pretty quickly on a two-way, like right after the draft. So maybe that has something to do with it. But that's interesting. Okay. So Johnny Broom. Okay, cool. Dominic Barlow. Okay, I'm very curious if he got scanned. Let's see. No, nothing here. Dominic Barlow played for Overtime Elite. He played to Spurs in the beginning of his career, then got, I guess they didn't like bring him back, but then the Hawks signed him to a two-way. He got converted, and then, you know, he didn't come back for this upcoming year, and now the 76ers got him on a two-way, which he is. He did play Summer League this past year. Okay, let's move on to the next. Oh, I keep clicking the wrong controls because they changed up the system. Jamari Bouye, unfortunately no scan for him. It would have been nice. He's been between the G League and the NBA for years, so that's unfortunate. All right, let's see if Pete Nance got a scan here. Man, you know, Pete Nance, he is the younger brother of Larry Nance. I was really hoping he got his scan. But let's see, Mark Sears. Okay, so Mark Sears, similar thing, where he was signed immediately after the draft on a two-way. I'm, again, a little impressed they actually decided to do this earlier. Usually they always do it at the end, like right at regular season update, but I keep clicking the wrong controls because I think they changed it, so let's see. All right, next players. Okay, Lachlan Aldrich, cool. He's going to be playing with the Windy City Bulls. He was their second-round pick. Let's see if Yuki got it, guys. Yo, okay. I do believe Yuki got scanned last year at All-Star Weekend. So this is awesome, and this is huge for, the Japanese audience, fan base, because I mean this is just great. This is awesome. I'm really happy. His face scan, or not his face scan, his creative player didn't look very good last year. So I'm happy they were at least able to scan him. Yeah, this is awesome. So okay, Emmanuel Miller. Let's see. Nothing here for Emmanuel Miller. I do want to look actually. I'm really high. Oh, whoa, they updated Julian Phillips's hair. Nice. I'm really high on Noah Sengu. So, oh, yo, that looks cool. I'm gonna mention this. I think people are saying Noah Sengu is gonna play mostly with Windy City. I'm actually super high on him as a player, but we will see. And I keep clicking the wrong control. All right. Cavs, let's see who got it. Tyrese Proctor, why does he not have his face scan? He was a second-round pick. That's weird. Hopefully they add it in a future update. Luke Travers, Naquan Tomlin, no scan here. So, okay. Max Shulga is also missing his face scan. Huh, that's interesting. RJ Lewis is also... Well, actually, RJ Lewis... Interesting, they actually put RJ Lewis into the game. Dude, wow. I'm impressed 2K is so far they've added to two-way contract guys, usually they don't do it, and because I think part of it's like I wonder if it makes sense for them to put into time to make these guys earlier if they don't end up making the final roster by opening night. But I'm happy we got him in. Like, that's huge. Hugo Gonzalez, pretty cool. But Max Shulga should have a space scan. Amari Williams, okay. So Amari Williams, Max Shulga will play with Maine Celtics. Same with RJ Lewis. I don't know why Max Shulga is missing his face scan. Because he is a second round pick, so I would have imagined he would have scanned him. But let's see. All right. Cam Christie, Kobe Sanders is a second round pick. Do not know why he's missing his face scan. Yannick Conan Nuderhauser is their first round pick. Trenton Flowers, unfortunately no face scan here. He's from the NBL, I believe. So dang. But Kobe Brown, Jordan Miller. All right. Next player. Unless I'm missing one, but yeah, next player. Cam Spencer, he had a face scan last year. PJ Hall, fortunately no face scan. I was hoping they would have at least added him because he was on a two-way last year. Jemiah Mashak, unfortunately no scan here. Now, at least we got him. That's interesting. I don't know if was he signed to a two-way. I can't remember if he did get a two-way or not, because I think he's so far been unsigned from the Grizzlies as of right now, so that's a bit surprising. They've already added him in, so let's hope hopefully add him his face scan, and even we can get his like player DNA, his pretty much his player build. So then when the G League comes around, if he ends up playing the hustle and like as a G League player, maybe he does then. We can use him on the Memphis Hustle roster. But I think he's not signed so far. I don't know if this was a mistake on 2K's end. Or maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe I am mistaking it. But Javon Small also is missing his face scan. That's another second round pick that doesn't have their face scan, which is a little strange. Okay. Jacob Toppin, he's the younger brother of Obi Toppin. Fortunately, no scan here. Nikola Dursic, I'm a little surprised they don't have a scan. He's played the Hawks last year. He's their second round pick from last year, so he should be in the game. Nafali Dante, Eli Nadia, I think I don't know if he's from Spain, but he's another example of a player who signed immediately after the draft on a two-way. So I don't know again if they made every player on here who's on a two-way already, or if they just did the guys who immediately went undrafted and have made those guys already. Keontae Wallace, unfortunately no scan. I was really hoping for Wallace to have his face scan. He's been between the NBA and the G League for years. All right. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, Myron Gardner. Yeah, I mean he played at the Osceola Magic last year. He was part of that finals team that made it to Osceola. He's been with the Osceola Magic the past 2 seasons, and then he got called up to the Heat, and he's gonna play the Skyforce. He's a great player. I think he's a very underrated pick right now for the Heat, and I think he's gonna be a very good player for them in the future. Vladisif Golden. So they've already added a lot of these guys actually, which is very interesting. Keyshawn Johnson, I was hoping he would have had a scan. Okay, let's see if Drew Smith. Drew Smith's been between the NBA and the G League for years, so let's see. Nothing here. I know he was hurt last year, but it would have been cool if they had put him in. Alright. Is this? Huh, okay. Liam McNeely was their end of first round pick that they got from the Mark Williams trade. Sion James, he needs his face scan. They're missing it. He was a second round pick. Ryan Kalkbrenner, okay, cool. So last year, similarly, 2K had second round picks who were missing face scans, and then some guys who they had to end up adding later. So I don't think just because like a guy like Sion James doesn't have his face scan, I don't think that necessarily means that player is like fully not going to be on a have his face scan in the game. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll add it as we get closer to the NBA season. Drew Peterson, I was really hoping we got a Drew Peterson scan. He just signed to Hornets this past summer on a two-way, played with the Boston Celtics the past 2 seasons on a two-way, and also played for the Sioux Falls Skyforce to start his career off. Antonio Reeves was drafted by Pelicans last year, played a good amount of time for them between the G League and the NBA, so not really too surprised. He's a great shooter, so I think he shot maybe 45% from 3, but and KJ Simpson will be on a two-way again this upcoming year. Elijah Harkless, no scan here. I was hoping we would have gotten that. He was a player who was drafted by the San Diego Clippers in the 23 G League draft, and then got called up last year by the Jazz on a two-way because he was having a good year in San Diego. Let's see if they added John Tonchi. Nothing here. I think he just signed his two-way foe like this a few days ago, actually. Oscar Shibwe, I know he has a scan, so good to see he's going to be back. Actually, I want to see, how does Walter Clayton do it? Okay, he looks tough. All right, cool. All right, next team. So we got the Kings. Dylan Cardwell. Okay. Dylan Cardwell, he played for... What team did he play? I think it was Auburn. Yeah, he played with Auburn. He's an example of another guy who signed immediately with the Kings on a two-way right after the draft. So be cool if they got him if he was scanned, but I don't know if he would have if he was a two-way contract player. I know they do scan some two-way contract guys, but I don't know who they scan, who they don't. So we'll see as we continue to go through this. Isaiah Stevens, I was hoping he would have gotten it. Isaiah Stevens played the Heat in the Sioux Falls Skyforce last year. Daquan Plowden, unfortunately nothing here. He's been between the NBA and the G League for years. He actually was a standout last year for the Warriors in Summer League, and then played. They ended up not keeping him on a two-way, and then he returned to the College Park Skyhawks, who then signed him, or ended up playing for the College Park Skyhawks, who then signed him to a two-way, and Atlanta called him up. So now he ended up playing Summer League, I believe, with the Sacramento Kings, who have now called him up to the NBA again. All right, next team, Knicks. Pacome Dadier, Kevin McCullough Jr. Okay. Man, I was really hoping we would have had Scan this time because he was a second-round pick last year. He was hurt, so I thought because he was hurt, they would have at least maybe added his Scan in this year because he's now playing again. So he played very briefly towards the end of like the Westchester Knicks season when he was healthy, but I didn't know if 2K just didn't add him because he was hurt, but maybe they don't even have his face scan. I don't know. Ariel Huckporty, Kolek, Miles Bride. Interesting enough, they didn't add was it Mohamed Daiwara, their second round pick? He's not on here. So let's see what happens over time. I think the next team will be the Lakers next. Okay, so there's Bronny James. Actually, I really want to look at this. Let's see Bronny James here. Okay, let's see his scan. I saw a photo that he got scanned again, but he kind of looks. This looks the same as last year. Does he have like a new hairstyle? No, everything looks the same. I mean, yeah, don't see any difference. So, okay. So this is huge. I got Chris Mannon. So that shows that that they actually did make two-way contract guys even throughout the summer. I mean, Chris Mannon, he was signed not like immediately after the draft. It was at least after summer league, maybe like 10 days. They cut Trey Jemison for him. So, hey, I'm happy we got him in the game, even if it's a little bit earlier right now than they usually. So, Dude Thorough. He's a second-round pick, so I would hope he has a scan. Christian Koloko. Jace Richardson. Oh, wow. That looks really, really good. Noah Penda. Did he get... Okay, that looks awesome. Jamal Cain. Whew, let's see if he got it, guys. He's been between the NBA and the G League for years. Same with Orlando Robinson there. So let's see if he got it. Yes. Okay. Sweet. That is tough. All right. So Jamal Cain finally at last. He's going to be playing potentially with Osceola this year, unless he spends like all his time with Orlando. All right. Orlando Robinson for Orlando is another guy who has been between the G League and NBA for years. Honestly, it's a steal they got him on a two-way. If those guys, Jamal Cain and Robinson, play with the Magic on a two-way contract, like with Osceola, like that team is gonna be really stacked. But all right, let's see if he got a scan. No, nothing here. Unfortunately, not. Yeah, that's not a scan. But we can only hope maybe in the future. Hopefully one day. All right. Miles Kelly. I don't think that's a face scan. I'm pretty sure it's a creative player. Yeah, it is. But it doesn't let you look that bad for him. But yeah, Miles Kelly from Auburn, great shooter. Summer League played with Mavs. Ryan Nemhard, the younger brother of Andrew Nemhard, played at Gonzaga. So I guess that's no scan here. Both these guys, I believe, signed immediately after the draft with the Dallas Mavericks on a two-way. Actually, I'm going to look here if Brandon Williams got his scan. So let's see. Oh, really? You know what's funny is that Brandon Williams even tweeted, I think to Ronnie, that I need to get my face scan. Man, I wish that happened. Dang. Okay. Ben Sharaf. Oh wow, this looks really good. So these are we're now going to the 5 rookies that were drafted by the Brooklyn Nets. So Ben Sharaf. I do apologize if I'm saying his name wrong, his last name, but so that's pretty cool. Who else? Nolan Traore. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Their other first-round pick. Drake Powell also. He didn't play from UNC. Did not play Nets Summer League. He was hurt, but one of their other draft picks. Now let's see if Drew Timme got it. I'm very curious if Drew Timme got his face scan. Unfortunately not. Okay, well I can only have hoped. Tyson Etienne. Did he get it? Nope, no scan here. Let's see if Tosin Evawalon got his scan. Unfortunately not. So these guys did not get scans. They played Long Island last year. So Danny Wolf. Okay, that looks really fire. And then Igor Demon. Yeah, so nothing here. And Ricky Council, no scan here either. I was really hoping they would have added his scan into the game. So, dang. Okay. Oh. Need to go back this way. All right. Spencer Jones, no scan here. He played majority, or no, I mean, he played with the Nuggets last year. He was the only two-way contract player they brought back from last year. So that I'm hoping that's a good sign that the Nuggets do believe in him. I think he spent a lot more time with the Nuggets than Grand Rapids too. But Curtis Jones, wait, that's not a scan, is it? I don't think it is. It looks like I think that's a creative player. Yeah, Curtis Jones, who I love playing with in 2K from one of the draft classes. I think it was Jack the Smooth 916. But yeah, Curtis Jones was fun to play with. He seems like a really good scorer, so that's pretty cool to see. Tamar Bates, I believe, did get scanned at 2K. I know at Summer League he did get scanned, so I know they have his face scan. So I'm hoping they'll add him in later. I don't know if they're gonna add his face scan like after the regular season. But again, Curtis Jones, I forgot to say, this is another example of a player who wasn't immediately undrafted, got a two-way. He got a two-way after Summer League. So they are at least trying to make an effort to get guys who didn't even, like, who are on two-way contracts even before the season, which is, they don't do that. So that's, again, really awesome. Ray Dennis, no scan here. I was really hoping he would have gotten it, but Cam Jones? that looks like a creative player, so he still needs to get his face scan. Talon Peter, also a creative player, he needs this face scan. So they're still missing a lot of second round pick like face scans, which again, this is early access, so it's very early right now, so this does make sense. Again, I want to shout out Tony Bradley, man. Cool story about him going to play, getting called up to the Pacers, and then eventually making it to the finals, and played literally in the G League in the beginning of the season. The first game of his G League season, I was there. This was against the Go-Go, so pretty cool story. I just want to shout him out. Let's see. Hunter Dickinson. Nothing here. You know what's interesting is I'm noticing a common. A lot of these creative players look very similar to Jack the Smooth 916's like player creations, because I feel like this looks exactly similar. I'm wondering if they used his draft class. But yeah, let's continue to see. So again, player who went undrafted immediately, signed a two-way. Let's see if Trey Alexander got it. Nope, nothing here for Trey Alexander. Micah Pavy, I think. But no scan here. But he was a second round pick, so hopefully he'll have his scan. I mean, Bryce McGowan's, he actually played the Trailblazers last year on two-way, and also played with the Rip City Remix. Actually, I want to see how Jeremiah Fears looks. Oh, that looks cool. How's Derek Queen look? Okay, they look cool. Both 73s, interesting. Anyway, alright. No, nothing for Tolu Smith. That's unfortunate. I was hoping he would have gotten it too. Denise Jenkins. That is a creative player. I think that's a creative player. Yeah. Both Denise Jenkins and Tolu Smith played on two ways last year with the Pistons, and played at the Motor City Cruise. Chaz Lanier, I believe that's not his face scan, so he is a creative player right now. Who else? Bobby Clipman is for draft pick from last year. Kobe Jones, who I'm very high on. I'm very high on Kobe Jones. I do like Kobe Jones as a player. I think great move for Pistons. I think he's a good fit for the Detroit Pistons, honestly. All right. Chucky Hepburn was another two-way contract player. I think he immediately signed the Raptors after the draft. Aldrich Chomsky was last year, 905 player. He got hurt very early at the end of the 905 season. Well, not super early, but his season did get cut early because he had I can't remember what the injury was. Maybe a torn ACL, but he had a very good summer league. So let's see how he does in year two. Eli Martin, so they're missing him. He should have a face scan because he was a second round pick, I believe, for the Raptors. We'll see what happens there. Let's see who Colin Murray Boyles looks. Okay, looks pretty cool. All right. Kevon Harris has been between the G League and the NBA for years. Let's see if they scanned him. Fingers crossed. Nope, nothing here. That's unfortunate. Isaiah Crawford. Okay, so they did get him in the game. Oh, but we're missing his goggles. So, funny thing. If you played 2K last year, what people would do is they would take Isaiah Crawford, they would take his creative player, and then they would rebrand it into Bryce James, because Bryce James has, to my understanding, his goggles as well. So that was the only way you could really make like players with goggles, like to be able to do like the face mask goggles. Like that was a really convenient way to use that. Now he has a face scan, so I don't know if we're gonna get that again. So, but hey, it's awesome that Isaiah Crawford, at least they got him in the game. All right. JD Davidson, I kind of hope they updated his hair because his hair's been outdated for a while. But man, this is the first time I'm seeing him not in a Celtics uniform. Like, I haven't even like tried to play with him on the Rockets yet. This is weird. This is weird, guys. Like, good for JD Davidson, first of all, but this is weird not seeing him in a Boston uniform or main Celtics uniform. All right. Don't think they had any other players or something can go on. Riley Minix, I was hoping he would have also gotten scanned. Riley Minix played last year on a two-way with the Spurs. Then he had an injury, and they still kept him actually. They didn't cut him or anything. So, and he had a good summer league. He had the game winner, I think, against the Jazz during summer league. Now David Jones Garcia, I'm curious if they scanned him because he played with the 76ers till the regular season, till training camp, but then was cut for Lester Quinones. Then he joined the Mexico City Capitanes. So let's see if they scan him. Nope, same from last year. Harrison Ingram was their second round pick from last year, played with the Austin Spurs, was on a two-way last year as well. Okay. CJ Huntley, I believe, does have a face scan. Because I saw that he had gone scanned at Summer League on a video the Suns had posted on their social media. So I hope they add his scan in, but that's cool at least. Again, another guy who went immediately undrafted. They got on a two-way, who they've added to the game. Kobe Brea also was part of that Suns, Suns rookies who I know got scanned in that video. Rasheed Fleming also was another one of those guys. So they're missing those three guys as scans. Hopefully they do add them in as we get closer to the season. Isaiah Livers, good for him, come back. He was hurt last year, rehabbing an injury. But, glad that Phoenix gave him a shot. So, good for him. I'm very curious, actually, about Nigel Hayes-Davis. So Nigel Hayes-Davis was between the NBA and the G League for, the beginning of his career. He played with the Wisconsin Badgers in college. Has been a huge standout in EuroLeague basketball. And so I think in previous 2Ks they did have his scan because in the face scan files, there were, his files were in the game earlier. So he might still be in the game potentially. From his files. But let's see if they actually still had it or it's just to create a player. Okay, so it's just to create a player. So dang, that is unfortunate. All right, let's see. So we got Jared Butler. Now we're gonna move on to our next player. Now let's see about Jordan Goodwin, who has been between the NBA and G League for years. So I'm gonna be curious to see if he got his face scan in the game. So let's see. Jordan Goodwin. Nope, no scan still. That sucks. Kaman Wallach. Okay, looks pretty cool. I'm curious if he'll play for the Valley Suns this year. I guess we'll see. Brooks Bartenheiser. Okay, he looks pretty cool. He was a second round pick for them. So it's cool to see he got his scan. Let's see if Brennan Carlson got his scan. Played for the 905 for the beginning of last season and then got called up to the Thunder on a two-way. Nope, no scan here. It's Thomas Sorber at least. That's pretty cool. All right. Rocco Zikarsky. I think he played in the NBL last year, maybe, but he was one of their second-round picks from who was on a two-way contract last year. So he, I guess, I don't know if he got a scan or not. I mean, I would hope if he was a second-round pick, they scanned him, but we'll see. Tristan Nguyen was in the game last year. So was Enrique Freeman, who reunite. Were both the Pacers and Mad Ants last year. Johan Berenger? Dude, this looks cool. All right. Yeah, this looks tough. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how he does with Iowa this year. But Leonard Miller, Johnny Juzang. I don't know if his deal is an Exhibit 10. It might be. So we'll see if he, gets, makes it onto Minnesota's roster. Maybe he gets a two-way. He is two-way eligible, I think, still. Actually, is he? He went undrafted. I think he went undrafted in 2020. Okay, so he has one more year. So possibly he could. And then Jalen Clark, I know he's been scanned before. Terrence Shannon Jr. But Caleb Love, who I guess we got pretty early into the game. But actually, no, again, he was another player who went undrafted pretty immediately. And then they signed him to a two-way right after the draft. Now, the big player I'm sure a lot of fans are excited about here is Young Hansen. Oh, yo. This looks cool. Oh, I'm hyped. I'm hyped to play with him. No, this is great. This is great for the fan base out there in China. This is awesome. This is awesome. CD Sissoko, he played for the Spurs and then played for the Trailblazers on a two-way. Actually, the Trailblazers were initially interested in calling him up on a two-way, or initially were interested in drafting him. So it's awesome they were able to get him on a two-way this past last season. So I'm trying to see, did we get? Oh, interesting. It looks like they updated Ryan Repair, maybe. It looks like because I feel like he has a different, like his appearance looks different. So this looks like an update, at least like player, like in terms of like his hair. Maybe he had facial hair last time, but at least that's cool. Let's see if Duop Reef got it. No, he did not. Okay. All right, moving on. Alex Tuhey. Okay, so here's what's interesting. Alex Tuhey and Will Richard. Okay, so let's start with this here. Alex Tuhey did not sign yet with the Warriors on an NBA deal. We don't know if it's a two-way. We don't know if he's going to be drafted and stash. So if we can get him, if he's going to even play just the G League only, so if we can get his rights here from his player, like if we can get his player DNA here, at least then you can put him on the Santa Cruz Warriors for a G League roster. Jackson Rowe, I was hoping he would have gone scan. I think he was a tryout player for the Warriors with Santa Cruz, so it's been cool to see his journey kind of throughout the years. Will Richard was their second round pick. Let's hope he got scanned and has been added to the game. I think that was it for the Warriors. We're on the last team here, which is the Wizards. We have Dylan Jones, who was part of that trade this summer, so the OKC Thunder could, and then put Thomas Sorber on their roster. They got some picks out of it. Let's see if Jameer Watkins, they've added scan. That looks like a player creation, so they still need to add his scan to the game. Will Riley, okay, Will Riley looks really good actually. That's cool. And he's a 70 overall. Okay, nice. That's pretty cool. Malachi Brandon was part of that Kelly Olynyk trade. Anthony Gill, Tristan Vucevic. I think there's not really much here. I'm actually curious, how does Trey Johnson look? Oh, he looks tough. Nice. Cam Whitmore, and Keyshawn, Corey Kispert, Lau, Bub, Chris Middleton. I imagine Sarge has to be their highest overall player. Is that really it? I think that might be it, guys. Because yeah, at this point now we're just getting the more of like the 64, 65. You know what? Actually, let's check one thing really quick. Let's check if they added more players from the Curry era. I want to shout out Pete Toll. He does a really good job like reaching out to guys, previous players, to try to get them back into the game. So he works with players that do that, like the retired players. So pretty cool to see if anybody gets into the game. Let's see. So some of these guys are older players. I mean, Hollis Thompson, I don't think that's his face scan, but at least they got him just in. Jeremiah Grant, Sergio Rodriguez, that's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm just gonna go this way. So I don't think a lot of these guys. So yeah, a lot of these are older players. Trying to see, we got any old players from back in the year. Paul Zipser, I think he was in the previous 2K for like the Steph Curry era 2, I think. Jordan McRae, awesome. Love Jordan McRae. It's actually K Felder, or maybe that was later actually. Let's see. Who else? Jarebko, Gerald Green, Rozier, Paul Pierce, Allen Anderson. So, I mean, it seems like it's kind of a mix of players that they were able to get where they still don't have the rights. At least we still have Jarrell Maher and Deontay Davis. That's pretty cool. Troy Daniels. Let's see. I keep going through these. Mike Scott. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like the Heat have a lot of players. I don't know if Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers were still on the team back then, but Hornets, they don't have everybody, I think. Is that Aaron Harrison? Oh, okay. I think they got Aaron Harrison back in the game. That's awesome. Wait, that's actually really cool. Okay, hold on. Aaron Harrison. Yeah, okay. That's pretty cool. Aaron Harrison, this was before all the two-way contracts. Like, he was a guy who made that 15-man roster for the Charlotte Hornets. He was actually on Theo Pinson's podcast recently. It was a really good episode. You should check it out. But so it's kind of cool to see that he's back in the game, I guess. So that's cool. Don't know really if they had anyone else. I mean, it looks like they do have certain guys, like Frank Kaminsky they have, but like Marvin Williams, you know, they have him as player, but they don't have his scan. I wonder if they'll add his scan later, which is why they made the player. So, let's see who else if there is. I mean, Trey Lyles would probably just be the lowest player at that point during that time period. Mark Haspy. Yeah, this is bringing back some memories, guys. Yeah, Knicks, a lot of players, because this is when the Knicks weren't very good, so they don't have like a lot of players on here. I remember, was that when they had Miles, or not Miles, the Plumlee brother, not Miles Plumlee, not Mason. There was another Plumlee brother who played for Duke. I can't remember his name for some reason. Off the top of my head, but yeah, he I don't know if he was on here then. And they had another guy, Nadai or something, a very athletic player too, but Metal World Peace, that's pretty cool. Jose Calderon. So they have a few different guys. I remember this team when they gave Mozgov like that insane amount of money, but it was also because they were kind of trying to mentor a lot of these players, like the young guys. So, CJ Wilcox, that's kind of cool. It's a throwback. They got him back as a player, as a creative player. I guess that's pretty cool. And they got Steven Zimmerman as a player. It'd be cool if they add these two guys as back, like the face scan. I mean, they got Dumont, was it Damazan or Dumont Rudez? I remember him. But yeah, that'd be actually kind of cool if they add these guys back in. Let's see. Quincy AC, it's pretty cool. I think he's an assistant coach now, but yeah, just say it, man. Dwight Powell, shout him out, man. He has been with the Mavs for so long, but people forget he played the Boston Celtics for half of the season. Then it got traded to I think he got traded with Rajon Rondo to the Mavericks. So yeah, I'll never forget that. I remember it was fun. Let's see, any other guys? I mean, just looking back, throwback. I mean, Joe Harris back then. So Malik Beasley, Mike Miller. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of looking like it on that standpoint. I don't think we have Juan. Was Juan Hernan Gomez? I thought he was part of that Nuggets team, but maybe not. Juan Hernan Gomez, if you don't remember, he recently, I think a few years ago, he was in that movie Hustle with Adam Sandler. Let's see, anyone else? Scan wise or players from the previous era. I don't think anyone here, so that might have been it there. I think Quincy Pondexter, or was it Pond? Or maybe I'm thinking of actually I might be confusing, but one of the Pelicans players. Oh, what was his name? He was the summer league coach this past year, but that might have been later. Actually, maybe he was on the Pelicans that time period. Henry Ellenson. Oh, yeah, it's awesome. And if we were only one more year early with this, we could have had him back in the game because he played with the actually with the Wisconsin Herd this past year. So I think he signed overseas like a month ago or 2 months ago. So I don't think he'll be back at the G League, but Oh, yes, I remember Michael. Okay, it's been a while. Gibjin? I know I definitely butchered that, but it's been quite some time. But I do remember he was fun to play with the Crews. Stanley Johnson. This makes me happy because if Stanley Johnson were to ever come back to G League again this year, because he kind of has been sometimes, and he'll go like overseas. He is, I think, from California, which is probably why he was like playing with South Bay. So that was kind of cool, like to see that aspect. Bruno Caboclo. Oh my gosh, this makes me so happy, guys. I'm a huge Bruno Caboclo fan. So, oh man. Okay. Yaka Pirtle. DeLon Wright. Oh, this was the squad I would play with the 905, like in 2K16. Like, Lucas Naguer. Oh, guys. You could do like a G League throwback roster. Oh, that's sick. That's pretty cool. I don't know if they had anyone else from the Rockets. I think it was really just Tyler Ennis. They don't have his scan. KJ McDaniels wasn't last year, so that's pretty cool. Fred Gibson. I don't think a lot of these. I think these are just creative players. Oh yeah, DeJounte Murray. That's when he played with the Austin Spurs. That was fun to play with back then. Dragon Bender. They got him back in the game, so that's pretty cool. That's interesting. Okay, pretty cool to see that. Oh, hold on. They got Marquise Chris back in the game. That's huge, actually, because he played not this past season, but the season before with the Wisconsin Herd. The Birmingham Squadron own his rights right now, so maybe if he were to decide to play again in the G League, we could, for this year at least, we could maybe have his player DNA now. So that's huge. Let's see, Nick Collison. I think it would be Cameron Payne at this point. I don't think there was really anybody. I don't know if Dakari Johnson was in that time period, because I don't know if he's one of the reasons like other players were missing from that Thunder roster. Let's see, Timberwolves, Brandon Rush, Jordan Hill, Machi Belisha, Chris Dunn. That was when he was just drafted. Tyus Jones, Cole Aldridge. So not many. Oh yeah, Nikola Pekovic. I remember him. I think not a lot of guys from the G League from that roster. Okay, yeah, yeah. Covington, Ed Davis, Evan Turner, Festivali, Mason Plumlee. So we're at the Warriors now. Let's see. Damian Jones. Okay, nice. Anderson Varejao, Kevon Looney. Not much there. So Wizards. Go ahead and check. Daniel Chefu. That is a throwback, guys. That's awesome. They got him. Daniel Chefu played for Villanova, I believe. He was one of those undrafted players where, if the two-way contracts existed back then, he probably would have been on a two-way. This was before, so teams would have to give these guys like a 15-man roster spot back then. So yeah, so it's one of those times where I remember there was also a guy named Sheldon Mack, which I don't think they have here, but I don't know if he was with the Wizards that 2016 year. But yeah, I think he would have also been one of those guys. And Daniel House, who, let's see, yes, they also still have him. Because he didn't play in the NBA this past year, so he would have technically been removed, but at least they still have his rights. So if he's played in G League this year or something, like we can bring him back into the game that way. But let's see, Trey Burke. Oh man, this is huge. Trey Burke last year played with the Mexico City Capitanes. I think his rights still do belong to Capitanes, so if he decides to come back again, we can now play with him with Mexico City. That's huge, guys. That is huge. All right, I think that's it on that end. Oh, this is Blue Coats. Interesting. I didn't know they doing this. Oh, I wonder if you could play with like a throwback custom roster with the Curry era here. But all right, let's go to the free agent pool and see who has scans. This is gonna be a little weird. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of players who are just creative players. I'm gonna try to go all the way down, which I really hope I didn't miss anybody, because a lot of these look like creative players. So I'm gonna just go ahead and keep skipping. I know there's free agents typically, because I remember last year they also did a free agent thing similarly, where they had old guys who were just in the free agent class. Okay, I think I just passed through some. So I think like Eric Moreland, I remember he was a free agent back then. Andrew Godlock, I feel like he played in the CBA, but I remember him from that time period. Drew Godin, Elton Brand, Matt Booner. Let's see, OJ Mayo, Jordan Farmer. Oh yeah. Jeff Ayers. Okay, I think that was when he played with the South Bay Lake or LA Defenders actually. So that's pretty cool if you're doing like a throwback there. Dante Jones, I think played the Cavs. Andrea Bargnani, I remember him back in the day. Tyler Hansbrough, I think he played in G League also. Perkins, who's on ESPN now. Tony Roan, oh man. Oh yes, this is huge. I had so much trouble playing against him in 2K. He's super good. Like, he's good. Let's see. Maxi Clear, that's funny. Because, you know, he is still in the NBA now. Gary Payne II, Josh Smith, Nate Robinson, Karan Butler, Quinn Cook. Pretty cool to see still in the game. Damon Wilkins. I think this is a scan. I remember he played the Greensboro Swarm and then the Pacers, so that's pretty cool. Spencer Dinwiddie, Gary Neal, Kevin Martin, Ryan Hollins. I think he's on ESPN or maybe some sports outlets, media outlets. Is Charlie Villeneuve, is he on the Theo Pinson's podcast? I don't know. Or maybe I'm mixing him up with somebody else. But Larry Sanders, that's pretty cool. They got him back in the game. I think that was maybe the year he got called up to the Cavs, maybe. Or maybe that was the year after. Because he played, I felt like in the G League for like some games. Jared Jack, throwback. Carl Landry, Mario Chalmers. That's pretty cool. Because at least I remember Chalmers was... so maybe he wasn't with the Heat then. Maybe it was after. But I remember he played in the G League a few years ago. Andre Miller, that's pretty cool. JJ Hickson, I do remember him. Oh yeah, I don't know... Is it Yi Jali? I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing it, but I do remember him from like earlier 2Ks. Jordan Crawford. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it looks like that's it for that. But that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah, that I want to see one last thing. I want to see the G League that they added. If the Valley Suns are going to be wearing black and white this year. A lot of times 2K gets in contact with the G League teams, and then we might see an updated jersey. So I don't know, because I heard this one time on one of the broadcasts that it's a traditional rule, and I don't know if this is true or not, that when there's a new G League team added, they wear black and white jerseys. And because then you notice like the Rip City Remix were wearing black and white jerseys their first year, but then this past year, the second season, they switched to these red ones. So I'm curious if Valley Suns will be in a similar situation. But at least we see here it's like the Go-Go. Yeah, they're... Yeah, pretty much... Yeah, pretty much this is like all the G League teams here. So if you're doing a roster, you'd have to play with it this way. What the... Istanbul basketball? Huh. Barcelona... What? Wait, what? You have Europe teams now? Can we play with this? Wait. Wait, did they add Europe back into the game? No way. Oh shoot, that would be sick. We used to have EuroLeague in 2K17, and then after that they took it out. So they added a few teams in here. It's a little surprising. Huh. I'm not as familiar with these teams. I don't know too much about EuroLeague, but I don't know if these are teams that are... Huh. I wonder if we can play with this. I'm going to go check really quick. Let's see. If we try play now, let's see what happens. I'm curious if we can actually put the G League now, too. and play now? Let's see. Or maybe I have to try another thing. Huh. Well, I mean, there's FIBA. There's FIBA. And it's all the G League teams. And there's the Bulls. It's classic NBA teams. I'm just curious. Maybe it has something to do with this. I wonder if we just keep going and see if it'll show up. No, it's still just showing USA. All time. Oh, you know what? Maybe the FIBA. No, was it FIBA? I was thinking those European teams were FIBA, but I don't think they were. So, huh. Well, that's interesting, but still can't do play now, unfortunately, with the G League here. So, but yeah, I think that is gonna be it for this. Man, that was a long video. I was not expecting it to be that long, but you know, there's still progress. We're still missing a lot of guys who need face scans. Obviously, 2K still has a lot of work to do because they're missing a lot of second round picks. Again, wasn't expecting them to add a lot of the two-way contract players earlier. So, but anyway, I'm at least that was nice to see that. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. If there's more updates, I'll probably do like a part 2. Hopefully we'll get more face scans for guys as we get closer to the season. But yeah, thank you for watching and have a great day, everyone.